नमो नमः. Prasthanatrayi, the syllabus for study of Indian philosophy by S.L. Abhyankar. As a 12-year-old boy, I had overheard my father mutter this word Prasthanatrayi. My impression of the manner of my father muttering the word is that he had himself overheard it from his guru Gurudeva Ranade of Nimba, but did not know it in any great detail. Since my father very much inculcated the dictionary habit in me, I guess that he must have himself looked up the word in Aptage dictionary. Yes, we had that dictionary. In Aptage dictionary, it is listed as Prasthanam, compound, Trayi, Trayam, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, and Brahma Sutras. In Shabdakalpadrumaha, only the word Prasthanam is detailed as Prasthanam, Klibe, Pra plus Tha plus Lut, Vijigisho Prayanam, Ityamaraha. Yatha Devi Bhagavate, Senabhiyogam Prasthanam Balasankhya Yatharthatah, Dhiranancha Parijnanam Krutva Yantu Tvaranvitah, Gamanamatram. Yatha Padankadute, Prasthanante Kulishakalanan Nishchitam Panditagraihi. It comes to mind that Prasthanatrayi, as the syllabus for study of Indian philosophy, was so set by Adi Shankaracharya by virtue of his Shankar Bhashyani commentaries on the three scriptures, namely Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Dashopanishada, actually 10 Upanishada here, and Brahma Sutra. I guess that down the ages, in the tradition of Shankaracharya of Shankara Matha, the Mathadipati has to himself complete the study of this syllabus of Prasthanatrayi and nominate his successor only by examining that the successor also would have completed this study. Having overheard my father mutter this word, now when surveying the authorship of Gurudev Ranade, I get to realize that there are 3 books of his which are like nectars of his study of Prasthanatrayi. Bhagavad Gita as a philosophy of God realization, constructive survey of Upanishadic philosophy, Vedanta, the culmination of Indian thought. There is another perspective of the word Prasthanatrayi, based on the detail of the word Prasthanam in Shabdakalpadrumaha as Vijigishoho Prayanam, Gamanamatram. Among Marathi saints, one can identify 3 ways of God realization. Gamanani. Jnanamargaha, eminently epitomized by Sant Jnaneshwar of late 13th century, detailed in his authorship of primarily Bhavartha Dipika alias Jnaneshwari, Changdev Pasashti, Amrutanabhav, though there is much more vast literature of his, such as Haripatha Abhang and whatnot. Bhakti Marga, eminently epitomized by Sant Tukaram of 17th century, detailed in his authorship of primarily Tukaramachi Gatha, though there is much more vast literature of his, such as Bara Abhanga and whatnot. Karma Marga, eminently epitomized by Sant Samartha Ramdas, also of 17th century, detailed in his authorship of primarily Dasbodha plus Atmaram, Manacha Shlok, though there is again much more vast literature of his, such as Karunashtaki. Study of these 3 approaches to God realization also can be considered as Prasthanatrayi syllabus. Although Bhakti Margaha, Jnanamargaha, Bhakti Margaha and Karma Yogaha are regarded as 3 approaches to God realization, one can include study of Darshan Grantha as a part of Jnanamargaha aspect of the syllabus of Indian philosophy. Major Darshanani or Shastrani are regarded to be 6, namely Vaisheshika, Nyaya, Mimamsa, Sankhya, Yoga, Vedanta, and are attributed to Kanada, Gautama, Jaimini, Kapila, Patanjali, Vedavyas. Sayana Madhaviyah Sarvadarshan Sangraha, available at https://sa.wikisource.org/wiki/Sarvadarshan Sangraha, is a compilation of as many as 16 darshanani. Study of Ruchaha and Suktani of Rigveda and of Samani of Samaveda and of Mantraha of Yajurveda may fit in as Bhakti Marga aspect of the syllabus of Indian philosophy. In the Vedaha, there are Brahmana Granthaha and Aranyakaha. Note Brahmanam, that portion of the Veda which states rules for the employment of the hymns at the various sacrifices, their origin and detailed explanation, with sometimes lengthy illustrations in the shape of legends or stories. It is distinct from the mantra portion of the Veda, and hence Brahmanam is name of that class of the Vedic works which contains the Brahmana portion, regarded as a Shruti or part of the revelation, like the hymns themselves. Each of the four Vedas has its own Brahmana or Brahmanas, Aitareya or Ashvalayana, and Kaushitaki or Sankhyayana belonging to the Rigveda, Shatapatha to the Yajurveda, Panchavimsha and Shadvimsha and 6 more to the Samaveda, and Gopatha to the Atharvaveda. Aranyakam, it is one of a class of religious and philosophical writings connected with the Brahmanas, which are either composed in forests or must be studied there. For example, Aitareyaranyakam, Bruhadaranyakam, and Taitiriyaranyakam. Aranye nuchyamanatvad aranyakam. Aranyedhyayanadeva aranyakam udaratam. Vedavadanatikramya shastrani aranyakani cha. This is in Mahabharata. Since Brahmanam states rules for the employment of the hymns at the various sacrifices, its study may fit in as a karma marga aspect of the syllabus of Indian philosophy. Since Aranyakam is a philosophical writing, its study may fit in as Jnana Marga aspect of the syllabus of Indian philosophy. There are also Smriti Grantha, such as Manusmriti, the code of laws ascribed to the first Manu, and the institutes of Manu. Parashara Smriti, note Parashara, name of a celebrated sage, father of Vyasa, and the author of a Smriti, like what I meant, the Parashara Smriti. Yajnavalkya Smriti, note Yajnavalkya, name of a celebrated ancient sage, the first reputed teacher of Vajasaneyi Samhita, Shukla Yajurveda, and the author of a well-known code of laws, only next in importance to that of Manu. Note Smriti, a code of laws, law book. What was delivered by human authors, law, traditional law, the body of traditional or memorial law, civil or religious. And this is a little opposite of Shruti. Being books of law, Smriti Grantha would fit in as Karma Marga aspect, rather the sociological aspect of the syllabus of Indian philosophy. There are also Puranani. Note Puranam, Puranavam iti niruktam, a past event or occurrence, tale of the past, legend, ancient or legendary history, name of certain well-known sacred works. These are 18. These are supposed to have been composed by Vyasa and contain the whole body of Hindu mythology. A Purana treats of 5 topics or Lakshanani, and is hence often called as Panchalakshanam. सर्गश्च प्रतिसर्गश्च वंशो मन्वन्तराणि च वंशानुचरितं चैव पुराणं पंचलक्षणम. The names of the 18 Puranas, Brahmam, Padmam, Vaishnavam च Shaivam, Bhagavatam तथा तथान्यन्नारदीयं च मार्कण्डेयं च सप्तमम् आग्नेयमष्टकं प्रोक्तं भविष्यन्नवमं तथा दशमं ब्रह्मवैवर्तं लिङ्गमेकादशं तथा वाराहं द्वादशं प्रोक्तं स्कान्दं च अत्र त्रयोदशं चतुर्दशं वामनं च कौर्मं पंचदशं तथा मत्स्यं च गारुडं चैव ब्रह्माण्डाष्टादशं तथा. There are also Upapuranam, Upapuranani, a secondary or minor Purana. Ashtanyupapuranani munivih kathitani tu आद्यं सनत्कुमारोक्तं नारसिंहमतः परं तृतीयं नारदं प्रोक्तं कुमारेण तु भाषितं चतुर्थं शिवधर्माख्यं साक्षान्नन्दीशभाषितं दुर्वाससोक्तमाचर्यं नारदोक्तमतः परं कापिलं मानवं चैव तथैवोशनसैरितं ब्रह्माण्डं वारुणं चाथ कालिकाभयमेव च माहेश्वरं तथा शाम्बं सौरं सर्वार्थसञ्चयं पराशरोक्तं प्रवरं तथा भागवतद्वयम् इदमष्टादशं प्रोक्तं पुराणं कौर्मसंज्ञितं चतुर्धा संस्कृतं पुण्यं संहितानां प्रभेदतः. Oh, this list does not include Sri Mahabharatam. The study of all these books and scriptures fit in a syllabus of study of Indian philosophy. Let me quote from https://philosophy.fsu.edu undergraduate-study/why philosophy/what is philosophy. And they quote, what is philosophy? Quite literally, the term philosophy means love of wisdom. In a broad sense, philosophy is an activity people undertake when they seek to understand fundamental truths about themselves, the world in which they live, and their relationships to the world and to each other. As an academic discipline, philosophy is much the same. Those who study philosophy are perpetually engaged in asking, answering, and arguing for their answers to life's most basic questions. To make such a pursuit more systematic, academic, philosophy is traditionally divided into major areas of study. Metaphysics. At its core, the study of metaphysics is the study of the nature of reality, of what exists in the world, what it is like, and how it is ordered. In metaphysics, philosophers wrestle with such questions as, is there God? What is truth? What is a person? What makes a person the same through time? Is the world strictly composed of matter? Do people have minds? If so, how is the mind related to the body? Do people have free wills? What is it for one event to cause another? Epistemology. Epistemology is the study of knowledge. It is primarily concerned with what we can know about the world and how we can know it. Typical questions of concern in epistemology are, what is knowledge? Do we know anything at all? How do we know what we know? Can we be justified in claiming to know certain things? Ethics. The study of ethics often concerns what we ought to do and what it would be best to do. In struggling with this issue, larger questions about what is good and right arise. So the ethicist attempts to answer such questions as, what is good? What makes actions or people good? What is right? What makes actions right? Is morality objective or subjective? How should I treat others? Logic. Another important aspect of the study of philosophy is the arguments or reasons given for people's answers to these questions. To this end, philosophers employ logic to study the nature and structure of arguments. Logicians ask such questions as what constitutes good or bad reasoning? How do we determine whether a given piece of reasoning is good or bad? History of philosophy. The study of philosophy involves not only forming one's own answers to such questions, but also seeking to understand the way in which people have answered such questions in the past. So, a significant part of philosophy is its history, a history of answers and arguments about these very questions. In studying the history of philosophy, one explores the ideas of such historical figures as Plato, Locke, Marx, Aristotle, Hume, Mill, Aquinas, Kant, Wittgenstein, Descartes, Nietzsche, Sartre. What often motivates the study of philosophy is not merely the answers or arguments themselves, but whether or not the arguments are good and the answers are true. Moreover, many of the questions and issues in the various areas of philosophy overlap and in some cases even converge. Thus, philosophical questions arise in almost every discipline. This is why philosophy also encompasses such areas as philosophy of law, philosophy of feminism, philosophy of religion, philosophy of science, philosophy of mind, philosophy of literature, political philosophy, philosophy of the arts, philosophy of history, philosophy of language. Unfortunately, the above note does not take cognizance of Indian philosophy and Indian philosophers, the Rushayah Munayashchaiva. Certainly, the Indian books listed already by me qualify to be in the syllabus of study of not only Indian philosophy but for study of philosophy at large. I would only pity and forgive the lapse of not taking cognizance of Indian books. I do not like the mention of philosophy of religion. I do not like the word religion itself. I abhor it. The word religion has only caused division of societies. The philosophy of religion has even caused controversy in administrative and judicial authorities of the church and the throne. There has been no such controversy between Rajanaha, the kings, and Rushayaha, the sages. If religious practices are supposed to guide people to piety and spiritual upliftment, then Adhyatmam is the word for more correct and more and far more correct and far more comprehensive. But the word religion is often taken to be translation of the Sanskrit word dharma. This translation again is totally inappropriate. Dharma is code of righteous conduct, inclusive of codes of congenial interpersonal relationships. Translation of dharma can be only by phraseology, not by any singular word like religion. Interpersonal relationships are many. Husband and wife, father and children, brothers and sisters, youngsters and elders, precepts and disciples, between generations, among friends and teams, even relationships with pets, relationships with serpents and reptiles, the environment as a whole, and the entire creation. That is the logic of the word being used in plural in Sarvadharman Parityajya Sarvadharman. Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vaja. Aham Tva Sarvapapebhyo Mokshayishyami Ma Shuchaha. This is in Gita 18-66. The mention of philosophy of ethics brings to mind Panchatatram, Hitopadesha, Sadachara of Ramana Maharshi, Viveka Chudamani of Adi Shankaracharya, thousands of Subhashitani, and most of all Sri Ramayanam. See, Sri Ramayanam dwells upon relationship between humans and monkeys, and with huge birds such as Jatayu and Sampati, prayer to the ocean before the army crossing over to Sri Lanka. For all these relationships, there are dharmaha, not religions. Actually, having made mention of Vedaha, their study has to include study of Vedangani also. Note, Vedangam, a member of the Veda, name of certain classes of works regarded as auxiliary to the Vedas and designed to aid in the correct pronunciation and interpretation of the text and the right employment of the mantras in ceremonials. The Vedangas are 6 in number. Shiksha kalpo vyakaranam niruktam chandasanchayah jyotisham ayanam chaiva vedangani shadevatu. Shiksha, the science of proper articulation and pronunciation. Chandas, the science of prosody. Vyakaranam, grammar. Nirukta, etymological explanation of difficult Vedic words. Jyotisham, Jyotish, astronomy. And kalpa, ritual or ceremonial. As can be noted, the first 4 Vedangani, namely Shiksha, the science of proper articulation and pronunciation, Chandas, the science of prosody, Vyakaranam, grammar, Niruktam, etymological explanation of difficult Vedic words, are essential components of the study of philosophy of language, the philosophy of the Sanskrit language, and hence essential components of the study of Indian philosophy. Is that a good view of the syllabus of the study of Indian philosophy? Oh, it is vast. It is vast because it all has evolved over millennia, has served the cause of universal benevolence all along, and has the potential to keep delivering benevolence infinitely. One life is not enough to study, digest, and imbibe all this Indian philosophy. We can only pray to Him to give us strength and urge to study whatever we can. Shubhamastu.